my friend Jody Gravely introduced me to the patches, and on September 25th, I started them. And instantly that night, my sleep was really deep and good. So I knew there had to be something going on here. I have been very sleep deprived for about 6 years because of my son who has autism, and he does not sleep. During the past 6 years, he would wake up 12 to 18, 20 times a night. I maybe got an average of 2 hours of sleep. And consequently, my adrenals and my thyroid have really suffered. So my health started to decline, but there really wasn't much I could do other than, I see a chiropractor and, a functional medicine doctor, and, just to, improve my health that way. I eat good and all those things, but there wasn't enough going on. Well, the sleep part really intrigued me. And also I noticed like minor aches and pains that I have, they're gone. But I had some pretty good pain going on in my shoulder. I couldn't even sleep on my left side, and that's now gone. I feel like my skin has improved and just my overall well-being. So I started my son on them within a week after I started, seeing and feeling these changes. So we started with the X39, and then it was about 2 weeks later, we added the Eon. Mm-hmm. And then we, with him, all of a sudden, like almost right away, his sleep improved. And within a couple of weeks, he started sleeping through the night. And I mean, this rarely happened over, these past 6 years. So my husband and I were really thrilled that this was happening. And we knew that, the stem cell was really important because we have done hyperbaric oxygen hard chamber dives at an off-label center. We actually relocate to Charlotte, North Carolina, and, had these treatments. We've done 300 treatments over about a 5-year period of time. We go there for 6 weeks. We have 2 dives a day at a cost of $300 per treatment. So 300 treatments times 300. But we dive at a depth that produces stem cells. Mm-hmm. So we already knew what stem cells can do for your body because, he started improving it. This was when he was about 10 years old, we started doing the dives. So when this technology was introduced to me, I couldn't believe how affordable it really was. And to think, the stem cells, what a great, they are just so crucial to his healing. So he started, the sleeping through the night. And then we noticed he would have a normal phone conversation, which, talking in general is really hard for him. But one day he was talking with one of my daughters, and she asked him question after question, just like 4 questions in a row, and he answered appropriately. And that just blew our minds. He visited with a neighbor, and that's when we can share his coloring picture. The thing about that is, it's a fine motor issue. And I promise you, we had no idea that his fine motor had improved so drastically because Charlie Brown colored there, that's the way he colors, one and done. And I'm done with this picture. But he sat there and attended and was so meticulous. And my friend and I, she also has a special needs child. So the 4 of us were sitting there and not critiquing, not, giving any influence. And this is what he colored. We were blown away. Yeah, the dog. Yep. So, and then
what was the time frame on this from the Charlie Brown to this dog picture? How long was that?
Oh gosh, probably just right before we started the patches. So probably 2 months.
And tell me again what patches you're using with him, because I know we have a lot of moms that are going to want to really make sure they hear that.
Yes. So we started with X39, then we added Eon about 2 weeks later, and then we added the carnosine actually just a few weeks ago with what I had read, about what it can do for the brain. Wanted to add that. And then my next thing will be the glutathione. Because that too, your body's most powerful antioxidant. So I'm really excited to do the glutathione, add that in and see what else we're going to see.
Wow. Yeah. So this is a 2-month difference. This is Stephen right here with the horse.
Yeah.
And so many changes in just a 2-month period of time. Yes.
And let me tell you, the horse, he has a job. It's an unofficial job working at the barn, but that is his horse. But he cleans stalls and, feeds and waters and, works with the animals. But he is showing initiative. Like he knows what has to be done and exactly how to do it. That they have remarked at the barn how amazing he's doing. They can notice the difference as well. So we're just beyond thrilled and excited. And, we were told he would never read, write, or talk. We were told to institutionalize him. And, he has made good progress with many things we've done over the years, but it's all about the inflammation and the healing of his body and his gut and detoxing. So to be able to do it with the patches now, instead of like his doctor was in Texas and having to travel by motorhome because we couldn't fly in an airplane at one point in time. We can now. But yes, we are just so thrilled to be able to have this technology. It is awesome and amazing.
Wow.